Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studios, diving into what the internet can't stop talking about. It's time for Trending Tuesday on Franklin County's favorite morning show, The Starting Lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee. And now for your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
And good morning, and welcome into the starting lineup. It's ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. I am Joe Abraham, along with Chewy this morning. Chewy, it is May the 5th. It is also Cinco de Mayo, or Mayo. How do you say it? Cinco de Mayo?
That's how I would say it.
Cinco de Mayo is, if you've got a giant sink of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
I think it's also National Teacher Appreciation Day.
I think it's the whole week, right? Is that what Ms. Shields said?
Well, it is a whole week, but I think that today. Oh, still got my glasses on. I think today is the day.
Oh, right. I got
that highlights it.
Okay.
But there's a lot going on in and around. Well, all the things. Chewy, you also told me yesterday. So yesterday was May the 4th. Today's May the 6th?
Revenge of the 5th.
Revenge of the 5th.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith 5th, something like that. And you can get involved in the show today. You can call in at 931. What is this show? 967-3500. You can text a show at 931-305-5611. I've started to. I think I'm getting senile, Chewy.
That's all right.
Because I've started to mix those two up.
That's my dad's badass Allen wrench.
Yeah, this is pretty badass.
That's the most over-the-top Allen wrench you could ever have. And is that not ridiculous?
I can see your dad Allen wrenching the crap out of stuff, though.
Oh, dude, my dad, he's got that utility closet, and he's got something for everything like that.
Right.
You ever watch Adam Savage build stuff, and he's always got that one specific tool where you're like, wow, I wish I would have had that.
It's like dad lore in tool format.
Yes.
Incarnate.
It'll be like an archaeologist dig after that man passes away, and I'm going through his toolbox.
It is a trending Tuesday on the show. Like I said, there's a lot of things that we can get into. I slipped on over to, I made the mistake, Chewy, of slipping on over to Twitter to see what was on their list of trending topics.
Was it a cesspool?
It always is. You got to go find the good. Oh man, I just had a weird Loco Coffee burp. I started with the pre-workout, and the coffee is already in my stomach.
Oh boy!
So I got the hot mixing with the cold. That was uncomfortable.
Jeez. Brett Crabtree is already here.
Good morning, Brett.
Along with Andrew.
Good morning, Brett. Andrew.
Guys.
So speaking of a lot of things going on this week, Chewy, and the trending things that are going on this week. So yesterday, Franklin County, the Rebelettes fell to Lawrence County 7-3 in the district tournament over in Lawrence County, which, by the way, they have a beautiful facility, softball facility. If you have not had a chance to check that out, man, that's really nice. So drove over there. We did that. They started out really hot. They let that one get away from them. Honestly, there was a 2-inning period where the sun was just brutal, and it was kind of setting behind the field. And I think our girls had a hard time on the right side of the infield, kind of adjusting to the sun. We ended up dropping that game. We're all right. We're still in it, but we dropped down into the losers bracket where you got to now fight through and fight all the way back to try and get to the championship game, which would be against Lawrence County again.
Okay.
So we're waiting to see who our opponent would be on Thursday. I think that it's between Tullahoma and Giles County because Tullahoma, I believe, head-slapped Marshall County yesterday. So just filling you in there. But that's not the only district action that we've got going on in and around the community. The baseball team is now moved on to regionals in the postseason. You've got soccer as well. And so there's just stuff going on all over the place. Let's see. Boys soccer at Shelbyville today at 7. And then you've got I think is it sectionals? Yeah, Class 3 Section 2 state qualifier today at Cookeville.
Okay.
So we got a lot of postseason spring sports action going on right now. So if you know a high school athlete in one of these spring sports, give them your best. But Chewy,
Yes.
with it being
One more thing with the sports thing.
yes, sir.
Russell Barnett Chevy.
They
They're
did- yeah.
almost out of their half-price tickets.
Okay,
For the
so
spring game this Friday.
appreciate that. So yeah, I lined all that up and totally didn't even mention the fact that the football spring game is on Friday, which I'm really excited for. And yes, to Chewy's point, the tickets are going to be $5 at the gate up in Tullahoma, but more so than that, if you buy your tickets at the gate in Tullahoma, Tullahoma keeps the money. If you buy the pre-sale tickets down here, which are only $2.50 a piece, you could buy the pre-sale tickets down here, and Franklin County keeps all the money that goes to that. And if we buy more tickets, we will be able to keep more tickets or get more tickets to sell. Like we've gone through about 200 of them to this point. But you know what would be really cool is if somebody said, I really want a bunch of kids to be there, and just came out and like bought 100 student tickets.
Yeah.
I think 100 student tickets at like $5 or $2.50 or whatever they cost, 100 student tickets, that's between $250 and $500 depending on which rate you get them at. And we could send 100 kids up there for free from the high school. Send seniors up there or something. I don't know. That'd be kind of neat.
So this Friday.
Yeah, either way, the game is this Friday, which is going to be tough, Chewy, because there's a lot going on this Friday. I mentioned the baseball is playing this Friday. If the girls win their Thursday game, they'll be playing on Friday.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
It's the end of the year, though, so I guess they're all squeezing all the athletics in, basically.
Yeah, this is the spring sport playoff season. It gets nuts. Speaking of Thursday is the Tennessee 250.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's this Thursday.
So that
Day after tomorrow.
Okay, wow. I did not know that was coming up that fast.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that'll be a big event.
Yeah. So lots of stuff going on.
Okay.
In and around the area. And we'll get into more of that stuff as well. But Chewy, I wanted to start off the show by saying, you mentioned to me yesterday about the May the 5th, Sith 5th thing.
Revenge of the 5th.
Revenge of the 5th. Sure. It's a stupid name.
Okay.
It's also Cinco de Mayo, like I mentioned. But since you told me yesterday on May the 4th about Revenge of the 5th, I wanted to ask you a question, and I may get hammered for this. But is Darth Vader overrated?
No.
Okay, because before now hold on, because I know Darth Vader's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the look is certainly elite. I'm all for black. The breathing, the voice, all that's iconic, right? The entrance, he's even got his own music. I mean, I want to be Darth Vader.
Okay. You enjoy that existence.
I'd give up all my limbs to become Darth Vader. But if we're considering his resume, okay, I just want to let's take a step back. Okay. So as Anakin Skywalker, this dude was supposed to be the chosen one.
Supposed
to be the chosen one. Supposedly. He was supposed to bring balance to the Force. Instead, he becomes like the opposite.
The Antichrist?
Yeah. And everything that he makes, like, terrible decision after terrible decision. He breaks. Let's start with, even when he's a Jedi, he breaks the Jedi rules. They tell him don't get involved. He gets involved with a woman.
Yeah, exactly.
A sitting senator, and I'm not saying that the relationship was necessarily illegal. It seemed a little illegal. She seemed like she was of age, and he did not seem like he was of age. But it was forbidden. It was reckless. It was definitely not allowed from a Jedi.
Obi-Wan had a girlfriend too, by the way.
I know,
and possibly a son.
Yeah.
Just let you know.
I hear that, but Anakin's over here. I mean,
go ahead. I'm wanting to know. I haven't heard any like strong negatives yet.
Okay.
What are you after? What are you trying to point out?
Okay, so then as he's a Jedi, supposed to be the good guys, slaughters an entire village of Tusken Raiders.
Yeah.
And as he puts it,
why?
Not just the men, but the women and the children too.
But why though?
Because his mom died. They killed his mom.
There you go. Yeah. So you're telling me?
So it's justified.
Yeah. I mean, no,
interesting.
Did you watch the scene of the mom? She was like tied to a stick and like barely alive.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
What would you do? All right.
Okay, hold on.
Go ahead.
I'm not done yet.
Kevin Simmons says, "Good morning, everyone," and Brett says,
morning.
"Joe, you're more like Dark Helmet."
We took a picture of Katie in Chewie's one of Chewie's helmets yesterday. She's so small and the helmet's so big, she looks like Darth
Helmet.
Helmet.
Oh my God! Did you see Crosby in it?
No.
It went down to his shoulders.
Oh man,
it was so great.
I hope we got a picture of that. Okay, so to me, like, Chewie and I disagree about whether or not that's justified to slaughter an entire village.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll give you that. Slaughtering the entire village is a bit excessive, but anybody who's got a weapon?
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So I'm not done.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so let's look at his fighting resume, right? Now, I know he's killed, like, fought and killed, and he's like amazing at points as a saberist. Is that what you call it?
Sure.
He gets his arm cut off by Count Dooku.
Yes.
Sure, he was young, and then when he beats Count Dooku, he cuts his head off.
Well, he cuts both his hands off and decapitates him.
Yes.
Yeah. Which
even
is
though
excessive.
Even the guy had already been disarmed.
Literally.
All because Palpatine tells him to.
Do it.
I mean, that's
all the motivation I need.
That's strength in the Force right there. Okay, not exactly noble Jedi stuff.
I would love to see a Jedi HR. It's like, how did you defeat Count Dooku? You had to do that?
He turns to the dark side because he has dreams that his wife might die, and his whole motivation is, I need unlimited power to save Padme.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, who knew that all it would take was for a Sith Lord to implant some dreams in his head for him to go all wonky.
She did die, though.
She did die, though, because of him.
That's true.
Again, another failure.
Supposedly. It says that she just gave up in the movie.
Yeah, because of him.
Yeah.
So he turns to the dark side, the one thing that he was not supposed to do.
Understandable.
Listen, there's a room down the hall. The door is locked. The key is on the shelf. Don't go in that room. Don't unlock that door. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So I'm only like halfway through.
I don't know. And yeah, I'm still
You're still skeptical.
Yeah.
Get involved in the show. You can go on over to the ESPN Winchester Facebook page, pull up the FMO Facebook feed, and get involved in today's show. It is a trending Tuesday. I need to change the video. The video is still a Mayhem Monday video in the background.
Oh, okay.
But it is a trending Tuesday. We'll get into what's going on social media as soon as I prove that Darth Vader is closer to Darth Helmet than we think. Okay, so he lost to Dooku. Then he beats Dooku, and even when he beats Dooku, he screws it up. When he turns to Darth Vader, okay, the Death Star gets blown up.
Mm-hmm.
The Death Star gets blown up again.
It happened again?
The Empire repeatedly fails to capture and eliminate the rebels. Luke escapes, like, they all escape multiple times. The Emperor dies, kind of. The Empire collapses. Vader turns back to the light side. He couldn't even stay bad. He turns good.
Flop back and forth.
Right, flip-flopper. So, I mean, all of these things that are going on, and he is revered as the greatest villain of all time. But to me, this is like, to put it in sports parlance, for sports terms for people who, are sports listeners, this would be like Dan Marino or one of these quarterbacks Phillip Rivers, who's just really, really good. But when it gets to the playoffs, when he gets close to the Super Bowl, he can't get it done.
That's actually a pretty decent description.
He comes up short, so to speak.
Yeah.
I know what that's like.
You're actually not really far off. As far as an effective character, Vader's very hit or miss with what he does.
Well, and so there are some other, there's like, I guess, would you call them canon and other things, other shows where he's super overpowered and it's like awesome. And he does have, let's just, from an aura standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
Dude's got aura points to give. Like, he is, that part of it is not up for debate.
He wrote the book on aura farming.
Yeah. Aura farming.
As your kids would say.
Yes. Dude is the OG aura farmer.
I would say this. Darth Vader, wrote the book on iconic villains, but
right.
I do agree with you in that as far as an effective villain, as like getting what he meant to get done, you are right. He's probably at like a 50% success rate.
Yeah. You know who he is? He's Lamar Jackson. He's really good in the regular season. You put him in the playoffs, and he just like craps down his leg.
Yeah. As soon as his family gets involved, he just cracks under pressure.
Yeah. Imagine, like, so you find the secrets to Darth Vader, and you kind of keep them in the recesses of your mind. You're like, man, if I ever run into Darth Vader, just like mental warfare him, because he'll lose it. And so one day you're running along, you and a bunch of your rebel scum friends, and you stole the plans to some, I don't know, weird space station that looks like a small moon, and you're coming down a hallway, and there's Darth Vader, and you're like, here's my chance. And you run up to him, and he pulls out his laser sword, and he's about to decapitate you and all the things, and you're just like, Padme. Dude. And he just loses it.
He just
breaks down.
You just turn into like a mist, and you're like, oh, I didn't even know he had that power. It's like, wow, we really shouldn't mess with that guy.
No! And then he like makes your head explode or something.
Sure. Which I think there should be more of in Star Wars. You're telling me that they can't do that?
Oh, dude, totally.
I'd be doing some weird stuff if I had the Force. I'm telling you that now. I'd start rearranging your organs and stuff.
That would be interesting. I bet that there were like kind of you know how, I don't know how it always comes back to Nazis. I guess with the Empire. The Empire is very representative of like Nazis.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what they were based on.
But I bet that they were doing some sort of like Nazi experiments on people with the Force.
They kidnapped a lot of the Force-sensitive kids and put them into like programs to see if they could like train them into soldiers. There was Project Blackwing,
right,
which was a virus project that accidentally made zombies. And
reportedly, now again, this is there's people out there who don't believe that the Empire actually ever existed. They don't believe in these Force camps and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they're just
oh man, I would love to see a tinfoil hat guy on Coruscant. You know what I mean?
But okay, back to Anakin / Darth Vader.
Sure.
Loses his mom, loses his arm, loses his wife, loses his kid, loses his best friend, loses the Jedi Order, loses his body, loses both Death Stars, loses the Emperor, loses the Empire, and then he dies. I mean, that is that's a losing streak that like Tullahoma would be proud of.
Oh.
I mean, that's a pretty big.
Yeah, that's it's a pretty consistent losing streak for sure.
I'm just saying.
I agree. I think modern villains wouldn't exist without him. Like Thanos wouldn't be Thanos without Darth Vader.
Right.
You know.
I get that. So here's how I'm going to convince you. Okay. This is the last way I'm going to, and then we're going to end this segment. I don't know what we're going to do the whole rest of the show because this is all I got.
Okay.
All right. So take James Earl Jones's voice out of it.
Mm-hmm.
If Darth Vader doesn't have James Earl Jones's voice, and instead, what's the guy in? Oh man, he was in a bunch of like early '90s movies, and he sounds like this, and he's he's in like Problem Child, I think.
Godfrey,
Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah, Gilbert Godfrey.
Gilbert Godfrey. Give Darth Vader Gilbert Godfrey's voice. Now tell me, the dude loses all credibility.
That actually isn't too bad. That is actually hilarious.
Right? He just went from being like the most badass villain of all time to, wow, this guy's a complete loser.
Man, could you imagine like a staff meeting with Vader at the
right?
I need to find the rebel, and you're like, oh my god, can you please use a vocalator or something? Like, you need to work on that.
He did, right? He just by changing his voice, he lost all of his aura.
Yeah, lost it.
Went to zero.
Kevin Simmons jumped in talking about when you're doing sports comparisons.
Yes.
He said Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly. Good point. Kelly got to 4 Super Bowls in a row and could not get it done.
Choked.
Oh,
yeah, get it. Darth Vader. Choked.
All right. Let's get a break in here. We'll figure out what we're going to talk about the whole rest of the show. It is a trending Tuesday. Now I want to watch Problem Child. 1990 comedy. Have you ever seen Problem Child?
No.
Had John Ritter in it. Was the dad.
Okay.
All right. We'll be back on the other side. It is the starting lineup. You're listening to ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Looking for a reliable car at an affordable price? Stop by Money Down Motors here in Deckard. We specialize in quality pre-owned vehicles with low down payments and flexible financing options. No matter your credit history, drive away today with a car you'll love and a payment plan that works for you. Visit us at 1945 Deckard Boulevard or call 931-962-3404 for more info. At Money Down Motors, LLC. Your ride is waiting.
Around here, people take pride in their property, and Flagship Lawn Services does too. They offer reliable mowing, trimming, mulch, and cleanups at a price that makes sense. And with the Flagship Finish Guarantee, they don't leave until it looks right. No shortcuts, no hassle. Just a yard that looks the way it should. And that's quality you can trust. Call or text Flagship Lawn Services today at 239-849-4033 and get your yard looking its best this spring.
From the 931 Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Winchester weather update.
Only a 70% chance of sunshine today. We got some rain headed in at around 2 p.m., but a high of 76 degrees with some south winds coming in at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, with some gusts as high as 20. Get out there and enjoy your dreary day while you enjoy ESPN Radio Winchester 1340 1069.
If you're competing with 3 other businesses in the same category, you're not advertising, you're fighting for attention. At ESPN Radio Winchester, our top partners don't outshout their competitors, they eliminate them through partnerships that offer category protection and exclusivity. Fewer competitors, stronger recall, better results. That's how local advertising is supposed to work. Learn how smart advertising creates a competitive advantage with ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
back here on the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee. ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy. I encourage you to get involved in the show this morning. We can really get into whatever you want to get into because I don't have a plan this morning, Chewy. It's just one of those Handsome Rob is not going to be in. And we can talk about some sports stuff. I got my personal MLB power rankings, but I pulled together the odds to win the Stanley Cup, the current odds to win the NBA championship, the odds to win the World Series, which, by the way, you remember the Atlanta Braves, who were supposed to be really good last year and then sucked, and then this year it was like, oh man, they're not really very good. They're kind of going to muddle through. The Braves sit behind the Dodgers and the Yankees, and then there's the Braves. There's the Dodgers out of the NL, the Braves out of the AL, and then there's the Yankees out of the AL, and then there's the Braves. They are the third shortest odds to win the World Series at this point, which in my MLB power rankings, Chewy, I've actually got the Braves at number 1 right now.
Really?
I've got the Braves, the Yankees, then the Cubs,
what?
The Rays, and the Dodgers.
So the Cubs are in third for you.
Yes.
And the Braves are above the Yankees for you.
Yes.
That's actually kind of shocking.
Well, and my power rankings in general are more like, where are they right now? Like, which team would you most be afraid to play in Major League Baseball right now?
Oh, okay.
The Braves are the hottest team in baseball right now.
Okay.
Hands down, nobody. I mean, they are as consistent. I think they're like 8-2 or 9-1 in their last 10 games or something like that. The Yankees are right up there with it, right behind them, just hitting the crap out of the ball. The Cubs are playing really good baseball. The Rays, so as good as the Yankees have been, the Rays are like right on their heels. And the Dodgers, here's the thing about the Dodgers. The Dodgers are are up there right now by reputation, not alone by reputation. They've got a good record. They're playing pretty good baseball, but they're not performing at an elite level right now. They're very good, but they're not performing at an elite level. What is surprising to me, Chewy, is that the Philadelphia Phillies are still per the odds. They're still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're the 6th ranked team from an odds standpoint to win the World Series. I went and I watched the Braves take on the Phillies. Just like not this past weekend, but the weekend before, for their affiliate day, and like the very next day, the Phillies fired their manager. The Phillies are a disaster right now.
Wow!
But the fact that their odds are still so short is kind of amazing to me. All right, so we were talking about whether or not Darth Vader is a little bit overrated. I believe he is. What do you think? Did I convince you at all?
No.
Okay. All right.
I think our criteria are different, though.
Yeah. Well, you're looking at the whole picture. I'm looking at the focused.
Character.
Yeah. The kind of more the, well, and two, like more the movies, which didn't highlight him even during the Clone Wars when he was Anakin, and during the Darth Vader period when he was younger, at the height of his power, we don't really see that in the movies.
Mm-hmm. I would like a Darth Vader show, even if it was animated.
Yeah.
They're his comic books.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's wild.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So you also mentioned the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you were talking a lot about it yesterday. Here's my problem with Star Wars right now is there's just so much content, and I can't keep up with it all. And some of it is not great. But you feel it's very similar to the Marvel universe. They just start rolling things out that like
I gave up with the shows with Marvel. Having one or two is fun.
Right.
But when you have 6 or 7 different shows that you need to watch to have context.
Right.
I'm out.
give me one at a time. And if you want to have like 5 of them, okay, but give me one at a time and have it like have it just be a short, limited, like 6 or 10 episodes, end it, and that's done. And you can move on. But I don't need the Eternals and all these other, I don't need that crap.
You know who did it well? Is do you remember the Penguin TV show with Colin Farrell from the Batman movie?
Yes.
That was probably the best way to do it, because that was a self-contained side story about a specific character that was not largely impactful on the franchise.
And I heard that was very good. I've not watched it.
Amazing.
I've not watched it.
It was like a modern like Sopranos in Gotham.
Right.
It was amazing.
But they didn't overwhelm you with, hey, here's 50 different characters. Now, what I would be all for, so here's the one thing, if I were a franchise like Batman, what I would consider doing is creating a mini-series like that for each of his really big villains that you're not going to put in a movie. So what I mean is, tell the origin story, tell them how they, like, the first episode could be the origin story, the second episode could be how they like go and kind of get on Batman's radar, and then the third episode could be their fall, where Batman gets them and puts them in jail. And so you could have, like, this is the Penguin series, this is the Catwoman series, this is the Mr. Freeze series. If you're not going to put them in a movie with Robert Pattinson and stuff like that, you could create these mini-series, but there would be a rhyme and a reason to it. And then you could save the movies for, like, the big stories or whatever. But people are so familiar with some of but you'd have to use, you wouldn't use, like, Polka Dot Man. You'd use the big name, villains that people know. And then you'd save the really big name villains for the movies, the ones that are bigger battles, right?
Yeah, and speaking of that, DC is releasing a Clayface movie, which is one of the villains in Batman's cast, and it's actually going to be part of that recent Superman universe, that DC reboot thing. And so they're releasing Clayface, and it's going to be like one of the first horror films in the DCU.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I feel like this is sort of doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where
still a lot of content that just I don't have. People just don't have time these days, right? That's the biggest battle that we face. And so because we don't have the time, you've got to be, in my opinion, you got to be very intentional about your work. You can't just throw stuff out there and see what sticks.
Right.
Because even though some of it might be good, I think that, again, this is a good point. I love Batman. Batman is my favorite. Like, between Marvel and DC and all the superheroes, Batman is my favorite. And I've heard very good things about the Penguin show. I had heard very good things at one point about Gotham. Watched a couple episodes, didn't have time to, and have never seen an episode of the Penguin, even though it's supposed to be really, really good. And Colin Farrell's in it and all the things. Never watched an episode. Haven't had time.
Yeah. Now,
what I have been watching lately is I finally finished Ted Lasso. I had watched the first, like, 2.5 seasons and just hadn't finished that last season. I did tie the knot on that one because they're coming out with season 4, and I absolutely love Ted Lasso. It's a show that I had never watched before until Ricky mentioned it to me, and he's like, you got to watch Ted Lasso.
Yeah, Ricky loves Ted Lasso.
Yeah, and so I watch it. I love Ted Lasso. It's great. But what's funny is Katie came in, and she sat down, and I was watching it, and she sat down on the bed, and now she, like, really likes it. So once I finished it, I started it back over, and I've got it, like, now at night. I'll turn it on, and she's watching it probably more than I am at this point. But I just kind of have it going because I've seen, but we started it back over from the beginning. But I've seen all those, so I just let it go. Anyway, let us know what show are you watching right now? what do you think about this Mandalorian and Grogu movie?
If Hollywood had a sec,
Yeah.
they would make a limited series on like Amazon Prime or Paramount Plus or something, and it's a spin-off story, and it's set in the Twilight universe. Okay?
Okay.
And it's about the dad who turns into a vampire hunter after his daughter gets taken away by a clan of vampires. Tell me that isn't the best story ever. A local, washed-up cop who turns into a vampire slayer set in the modern day.
That's pretty funny.
I'm just saying. Could you imagine?
The dad was the only guy in that movie, in that movie series, who I was like I could connect with him and was like, this guy is really close to rampaging.
Right? And listen,
He did
here's
feel
the name
like
of the
that.
series. Swan. SWANN. Swan. Gosh, I'm just saying, you could do that and it would be awesome.
It's pretty good.
And I'm like, man, and think of how creative you could get. You know, it's like he's got like a mirror to like block. You know what I'm saying? Like the sawed-off, he like turns into the Doom guy, but like a Midwest Doom guy,
Oh
like
my gosh.
with the mustache and everything. Stranger Things crossover. Now that see, put me on the team, coach.
Yeah.
I would write some great television. It wouldn't make any sense, but it would be awesome.
I've heard of worse for sure. What the crap?
What?
Okay, so I'm scrolling down on my Facebook newsfeed, and I see a post from 97.7 ESPN The Zone, which is our sister station down in Huntsville. And it says, big thank you to Oreo Cookie for sending the guys from Talkin' Ball some dill pickled flavored fudge Oreo cookies to try in the show. Scott Tyson and Drew Darman had a blast trying them during the show. What in the absolute concoction is this?
Oh, Kevin Simmons asked who played the best Batman. Why would you put dill pickle on Oreo? A dill pickle fudge? Is that a thing?
Dill pickle flavored fudge Oreos.
Ugh.
Small batch. I mean, it is. They're green. It is as disgusting as it sounds. Kevin, we discussed that. Who in our opinion played the best Batman? I think last Wednesday.
Yeah, it was something
with Ricky.
like that. Yeah.
And we all had different opinions. What we mostly agreed on was the animated Batman is Batman.
Yeah.
Like what was that guy's name?
Kevin.
Kevin Conroy.
I almost said Kevin Costner, but yes, Kevin Conroy. In my head, when I like read Batman comics, that's who I hear.
Right.
You know.
Now that being said, live action Batman. I know Ricky's was Christian Bale.
Yep.
The Dark Knight Batman. My favorite was actually Ben Affleck.
I remember that. Yeah. Which is a good choice.
Well, and it is and it isn't. I feel like out of all of the guys that have played Batman, Ben Affleck should have been playing Batman for the last 30 years. I think that in an alternate universe, he was. I think that Ben Affleck in an alternate universe has been playing Batman for the last 25 years, and he's like the 007. He's like the like 007 basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is a universe where he's got 10 movies that are just tremendous, and they're all because to me he looks like Bruce Wayne. I believed him as Bruce Wayne, and as Batman he was like, for that era of Batman, the graying, dark, brooding, he had that, and I felt it. And to me, he's the only Batman who I feel like played both sides of it almost to perfection, and he was cast perfectly for the era.
He was like the exact right age and the right size.
Right. And I look back at when he was younger, and his look and his swagger and his Playboy style and all the things, he would have been perfect Batman 20 years ago.
I have a better question to follow at with the Batman question. Actually, what I think is, who do you think should be, who's another celebrity you think would make a great Batman? Because I have two.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
One is Alan Richardson. I think Alan Richardson would be awesome.
Alan Richardson.
Alan Richardson, yes. Thank you. Reacher.
Yeah.
I think he would be great. He's got like the right build. I feel like if he got in,
he's jacked.
Yeah, and if you put him in the right mood, the right setting, and he had the right character, I feel like he could do a pretty interesting Batman. The second one is Jensen Ackles, who plays Soldier Boy in The Boys. He was also in Supernatural.
Okay.
I think he would be a pretty decent Batman personally.
Yeah.
Just his demeanor.
I like the Alan Richardson pick. I don't know much about the Jensen Ackles guy, but Alan Richardson, Alan Richardson, the guy that plays Reacher, he is freaking awesome.
He fits that bill exactly.
Yeah,
and you know who I think would actually?
He's got a strong Batman chin too.
He does. Where you can picture the mask over his head.
Yeah.
I think another. This is going to be a controversial pick, but I think a great Two-Face. I don't know if we've ever had a great comic book Two-Face on screen before. We've had Tommy Lee Jones, who did that like weird sort of Baroque, sort of over the top, sort of cartoony character, and then we had Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight, which again was played very well, but it was played so realistic that a lot of the Two-Face character was sort of missing.
Right.
You know who I actually think would be a pretty decent Two-Face?
Who's that?
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill, he's got that like really charming sort of vibe to him, like that, especially like during interviews, you could see this.
Right.
If he had that, and then if he had a performance where he could stop on a dime and then change that personality really well, I think he would be a pretty decent Two-Face, just like a Harvey Dent sort of style character.
Right. I like it.
Did you know that? What is Lando's name? The actor's name
from the
Star Wars, not the new one, but the old one.
Oh, the guy who played Apollo Creed.
Lando. In the original Star Wars.
Right, but I think of him as the guy who played Apollo Creed.
I'm thinking of the new
Carl Weathers.
No.
Oh, you're thinking of the new one?
No. Okay, first off, Carl Weathers did not play Lando. Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
That wasn't by Carl Weathers.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't. Carl Weathers played the Magistrate in The Mandalorian.
Lando Calrissian.
Billy D. Williams, I think is his name.
Yeah, you're right. Billy D. Williams.
Yeah, he
and
played...
then Donald Glover played him more recently.
But Billy D. Williams, people don't know, he actually played Harvey Dent at one point in one of the Batman movies.
Really?
Yeah, but he didn't play Two-Face.
Why did I think that Lando was...
Because you were on the mind of Creed. Anyway, interesting.
Who is it
conversation.
All right, so Carl Weathers played somebody else.
He played the Magistrate in The Mandalorian.
Right.
Kevin Simmons jumped in. The real question would be, where in the heck is Robin? Ooh, good question. Okay, wait a minute. We've never talked about this before. Now, when we ask that question, that's a dangerous question, because are you asking about Robin or are you asking about Nightwing? Because those, I feel like, might have two different answers. You know?
Okay, so I've got you asked the question about the next Batman.
Yeah.
Hold on, before we move on. So I like the Alan Richardson thing. My concern is that he's like 43. And I think that we need to find somebody who can play Batman for a little while. Now, the kid who's playing it right now, Pattinson, I like Pattinson for the version that he's playing.
But I don't think he would fare well in the Gods and Monsters sort of style.
Right. How old is Glenn Powell?
I don't know.
He's 37, so he's a little bit younger than
you think Glenn
Richardson's
Powell for Batman?
I think Glenn Powell might be a pretty good Batman.
Okay, that's an interesting one. I am curious now, thinking about Robin though. I don't know about Robin, but like Nightwing, I have a few that I think would actually be pretty decent. You know.
So one of the ones that I saw for Batman as well that people listed was Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting pick.
What else has he played in? I know.
He did Kick-Ass. He was in Nosferatu. He was the rich guy in Nosferatu. He's going to be in Werewolf. He was recently Kraven, the Hunter.
Kraven, yeah. He was also in Bullet Train. That's what I know him from.
Yeah.
So I actually think that he would make a better Nightwing than a Batman.
Yeah, I would like to see him. You know who I think would actually make a pretty good Robin? In like the Tim Drake or the Dick Grayson Robin, like the gymnast one.
Okay.
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Because he's got that sort of like that build.
Yeah.
But also maybe Timothy Chalamet for a Nightwing. I think that would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Him and Aaron Taylor Johnson kind of very similar.
Well, there's multiple Robins too. There's
Right.
also like the Red Hood and the Arkham Knight and this other stuff. So you could have a lot of these guys all play the same thing, basically.
All right, let's get a break in here. When we come back, I don't know what the heck we're going to talk about. It's kind of a weird Tuesday. I do want to look at the trending topics when we come back. If you want to get involved in this conversation or one of the other ones, feel free to jump in on the FMO Facebook feed. It is the starting lineup fueled by Loco Coffee, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
Misuse can take many forms. It may involve abusing methamphetamine or prescribed ADHD medication. Both carry real risks when not used safely or under medical supervision. Prevention starts with education and open communication. The Franklin County Prevention Coalition provides tools and local resources to help families make informed decisions. When we stay proactive, we are stronger together, and we are stronger without it. Learn more at fcpctn.org. This project is funded under a grant contract with the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Hey, it's Chewy, and if you've got pests, you need the folks that I trust. Burrow's Termite and Pest Control. They're right here in the heart of Estill Springs at 101 North Main Street, taking care of everything from termites and ants to spiders and those little critters that love sneaking into your home. Burrow's is family-owned, they're local, and they've been protecting homes around here for years. So don't wait, swing by or check them out over there online at burrowstermite.com. Burrow's Termite and Pest Control. They'll treat you right and treat your home even better.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
An excited crowd filled the Oldham Theater this Sunday as the 4th Annual OWL Awards celebrated the very best of Franklin County athletics. The evening honored student athletes and coaches from Franklin County High School and Huntland schools, continuing a tradition inspired by the legacy of Big Al Tips. The event stands as a tribute to encouragement, effort, and belief in young people across our community. Female Coach of the Year honors went to Daryl Jolly, while Kermit Reed was named Male Coach of the Year. Among the freshman standouts, Hadley Jolly was recognized as Freshman Female Athlete of the Year, and Micah Tips earned Freshman Male Athlete of the Year honors. Seasonal awards highlighted excellence across the calendar year. Skylar Roberts was named Fall Female Athlete of the Year, with Grant Jernigan earning Fall Male Athlete honors. Winter Athlete of the Year awards went to Allie Smith and Cooper Stevens. And in the spring categories, Caitlin Montgomery was recognized as Spring Female Athlete of the Year, and Jed Ashley received Spring Male Athlete of the Year. The top overall honors of the night went to Nikasia Holman, named Best Overall Female Athlete of the Year, and Brandon Walker, named Best Overall Male Athlete of the Year. The Grit Award, presented in honor of Kevin Seiler, was awarded to Grayson Baggett, recognizing perseverance and determination. The evening's highest honor, the Big Owl Award in honor of Al Tips, was presented to Kingston Maxwell. Organizers described the night as more than an awards ceremony. It was a celebration of community, unity, and the lasting impacts of sports in shaping young lives. From Franklin County to Huntland, the message was clear: one county, one community. For more local news and updates, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
This is Daryl from Columbus, previously from the Paul Finebaum Show.
Let's check in scissor hands. I'm the wrong guy to ask, but what's the secret to a good haircut?
A good haircut makes you feel confident. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when you get that haircut, you're going to walk out that barbershop, you're going to look in the mirror, and you're going to be like, yeah, that's it. And you're going to tip the barber.
The Paul Finebaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC Network.
Joe had to mix up some more pre-workout, but he's ready to go another round. Back to the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
right, back here on the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. Chewy and I were talking in the break about like Batman's armor, and I even said, you know, one of the things that I thought was really good about Batman the Animated Series was how it started out and they were wearing, I mean, this is early 90s, they're wearing these big clunky suits and the style and the art style and the vehicles and all that type of stuff. And then it kind of like went on this journey where now you got a different Robin, and then Nightwing comes back, but Batman's got another Robin, and you know Nightwing kind of like teaches Robin some other thing, and there's kind of this weird dynamic there. And then they go on with the universe and even take it into same universe, same voices, all the same stuff, but they take it into Batman Beyond. And we see in these movie series, they either have to kill them or reset them after a few movies or a few episodes because they screw it up.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's like the Power Rangers movie, and we talked about this as well in the break. They came out with this Power Rangers movie, and they got us all excited. And they came out with this Ninja Turtles movies, and they got us all excited. Oh, Ninja Turtles, my childhood. And then they wanted to get so creative with it, they wanted to make it their own, that they got so far away from... The Ninja Turtles don't look like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They look like jacked gym bros rather than ninjas. And they are not small, they're not kids, they're not any of that. And stop messing with it. Like, if you've got the perfect kind of like template for it, which is Batman the Animated Series, figure out a way to take the Batman the Animated Series and put it into live action and make it into movies.
Mm-hmm.
And even from the Batman suits and other things like that, you know, if you want a special suit, maybe he needs a special suit to fight Freeze. If you want a special suit, then maybe he needs or if you want to make a really cool Arkham Knight advanced looking suit, maybe that comes along. Maybe that's the Batman Beyond looking suit where it makes more sense. But don't force your creativity into what is already really, really good.
Right.
You know, you could even, like the original Batman animated series, Batman's got the yellow circle on his chest.
Mm-hmm.
And then he transitions away from that, and it's not like a big thing, but there is development over the course of time.
Yeah.
I just feel like people come in and they get their hands on these things and they want to make it their own. It's not yours from a director standpoint, it's the people's. And I know that a lot of people will say, well, you know, you don't want to do, fan service and just like placate to what all the fans want and stuff like that. But why? Like, I don't need to see a new story. I don't need to see a new suit. I want to see the story that I love true to, you know, what I love about it.
Mm-hmm. We're at a weird point where we've gotten it so much that it's like anytime you do something different, it just doesn't feel normal anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I wonder, should we take a break from superheroes for a little bit? Do you know what I mean? Like, just put it on, not put it away, but just slow down. Because the amount that we're getting is so oversaturating, and it's so much that you're going to get burnt out on it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you're going to get to a point where you're like, yeah, there's a Batman movie, bet I can miss it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be there.
No. I know, and I agree with that. I think that it depends on what we're talking about. You know, like I don't think that we need more Superman movies, more Batman movies, more Marvel movies. I think that we need, like, that Power Rangers movie that came out a few years ago. I say a few years ago. It was, 7-8 years ago or something like that now, maybe 10 years ago. I feel like that movie never scratched even an it. That was not a Power Ranger movie to me. Didn't hit anything true to, and all these new renditions of Power Rangers over the years, you know what people want? They want the original Rangers. They want the dinosaurs. They want that kind of style.
At the very bare minimum, just to have some dedication to the source material.
It's the nostalgia of it too.
Yeah.
You know, even with the Ninja Turtle, the Ninja Turtles, like they want them to look like the original Ninja Turtles.
Right.
The original movies that came out, they were to a certain extent more true to the original animated show. And now you've got all this stuff where like Donatello's got glasses and this, that, and the other thing, and it's like, why?
Yeah, I agree with that because I think taking yourself a little too serious sometimes actually is not a positive.
Right.
Having that, there's a bit of whimsy that you have to have, for lack of a better term, with some of these movies because, like, think about what Power Rangers are. You know what I mean? Like, making them badass and cool and all that is fun, but it doesn't really make for a better story.
Right.
You know? And I agree with you on that especially.
Well, even like when you talk about Ninja Turtles, if you watch the original animated show and you compare them in height to April O'Neil,
yeah, they're like 5'8", you know.
Yeah, they're little. They're kids. They're small.
They're teenagers.
Yeah, they're teenagers. Well, barely, you know.
Yeah.
They're like 13, 14 years old. But again, if you came up with a good enough plan, and here's the problem, is when they write these movies, they write the first one like siloed, and then they're like, well, if this is successful, we'll do a second one and a third one. You know, if you write it as a journey that they're going to go on, you know, a 3 to 5 movie journey, you could start out with the origin of the Ninja Turtles, and they're small, and they suck at what they do. And kind of like how – and they did this with Spider-Man, where when they reintroduced him, it was like he was figuring it out, and then he got better. But every step along the way, they knew that they were going on this journey because they knew they were incorporating him into the Marvel Universe. Just create a Ninja Turtles universe where they're going to start. They're going to be short. They're going to be kids. They're going to be 13. They're going to be like – a disaster, and then take them along the way and have them grow up. But you know how like easy it would be, because look at any kid and how they grow, and you can literally write that story, just now make them crime fighting Ninja Turtles, but write them as kids and show how kids grow up, show how they're angsty at one point in time, and you know, all the things.
That's a good point that I never really even thought of, like showing Shredder as a father figure.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't get a lot of that, whereas Shredder's like, he's very wise, you know, and the platitudes, but you don't see like the domestic part of being a father from Shredder a lot of the times, you know, like cleaning up after them, or like, you know, like when one of them gets in trouble or something. Like what does Shredder? Does Shredder snap?
Are you talking about Shredder or Splinter?
Splinter. I apologize for that. It's 2 a.m. But Splinter, like the domestic parts of being a father from Splinter, I would like to see more of that actually.
Right.
The family aspect as well.
Right.
Because like you said, they're kids, and like I think for a lot of the you know, obviously Ninja Turtles is very. I mean, it can lean towards youth audience very easily, but I think they have the option to do sort of the old school Pixar thing where the parents are watching too, because it's such an empathetic experience from seeing it from that position, you know?
And people can connect with it because, like, again, it's real. If you make it like it's like real life, they will connect with it, and they'll come out and they'll watch them.
Yeah.
You know, like and it's not hard. I've got 4 sons. I could write that movie. You know, and they're all, you know, very much different in their own way. They've got their own personality. Sometimes they want to be together. Sometimes you know, Crosby will literally go out and sleep on a couch because he doesn't want to be around them. And they fight, and they have fun, and they have good days, they have bad days, and all these types of things. But you see the dynamics between them and just write it down. Like it's not hard. It's just, I think that, again, we've got people writing these movies. I can't wrap my head around some of the things that they come up with and why they think that they're good ideas.
Brett Crabtree jumped in the chat saying, hear me out, I want a real good attempt at a G.I. Joe movie and a He-Man / Masters of the Universe movie. I was actually thinking they were doing He-Man, but I haven't seen anything recently about it. There is going to be a live-action He-Man.
Yeah, there is a He-Man movie coming out. I just saw the preview for it.
I don't know about this one.
Yeah.
So you did watch the trailer for it?
I did.
I'm actually keeping an open mind because my guess is that the He-Man stuff, if that guy can like pull it off, he's a little boyish,
right?
Which is sort of my problem. Whenever he said I have the power, he didn't sound the way I expected. But you know what? I'm gonna keep my options open. Skeletor looks amazing.
Yeah.
Did you see the So Brett,
which isn't that Jared Leto was doing him?
Yeah, surprisingly, Jared Leto. They still let him make movies.
Yeah.
And but he's gonna be Skeletor, but you can't tell it's him.
Right.
But I'm actually all for this. He-Man I love He-Man, but Skeletor in particular is one of my favorite villains of all time. So I got to see what this is.
What was the movie that came out a few years ago? It was like this huge budget space journey movie, and I'll have to look it up in a break. But there was all this hype around it, and then it just like completely bombed. It's been like
John Carter.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I love that movie.
That's kind of my concern about the He-Man movie. Is I could totally see it being a John Carter master. What was that? The John Carter something
of Mars.
John Carter.
Something of Mars or something.
It just was John Carter.
Or was it just John Carter?
Yeah.
It was based on a book about him going to Mars way back in the day. But Brett, did you not like the recent G.I. Joe ones? Well, I say recent, the ones from like 15, 20 years ago. I remember I liked the second one a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I tell you what I did like was the Snake Eyes like character. Like I think they kind of nailed that guy in the original.
Right.
Also, I went back and watched some of the clips from the G.I. Joe movie where they had Cobra Commander in like the mask thing.
Right.
There's a lot of really clever storytelling, visually, but it's like if the dialogue sounds like it's written by a 10-year-old.
Right.
And then I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, did they do that on purpose? Because the implication is like it's like a kid playing with his toys. Like, is that what they were going for?
Well, and that's one of the challenges too with some of these. Katie says, "I love John Carter." Crabtree says, "I didn't."
Okay, yeah, yeah, okay.
I think he's referring to the
G.I.
Joe movies. So that's one of the things that's challenging with those, right? With those movies that you're going to make about, I don't know, cartoons, things like that from when we were younger, from the early 90s and all that type of stuff, is from a writing standpoint, if you write it like it was written, Ninja Turtles was very goofy.
Right.
It
was straight up comedy.
Right.
Slapstick almost.
But then when the movies came out, they were more serious. And so here's the thing is, again, you've got to write it with a little bit of that, because it is a little bit silly, but you've also just got to write it to the audience who were Ninja Turtles fans. Well, probably guys who are anywhere from, and even little boys and little girls too, but everybody from, boys who are 10 years old now to guys who are 45 years old.
Yeah.
So you've got to hit all the ranges in that. And how do you do that? I think that you do it in telling a story that they can all kind of connect with. It's cool, but it's also funny, but it's also real.
Right.
All right, let's get a break in here. I forgot, it's there's no school in because it's Election Day.
I was sitting here waiting this whole time for our phone call.
Yeah,
I was getting a little worried.
I was going through to the phone call as well, but it's Election Day. So if you haven't early voted, go out and vote today. All right, we'll get a quick break in here and be back on the other side. It's the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Looking for a reliable car at an affordable price? Stop by Money Down Motors here in Deckard. We specialize in quality pre-owned vehicles with low down payments and flexible financing options. No matter your credit history, drive away today with a car you'll love and a payment plan that works for you. Visit us at 1945 Deckard Boulevard or call 931-962-3404 for more info. At Money Down Motors, LLC. your ride is waiting.
For a limited time, TVA Energy Right is offering up to $500 in cash rebates for attic insulation and air sealing through your local power company. Prince Insulation, part of TVA's quality contractor network, ensures licensed, insured professionals get the job done right. Proper insulation can lower your energy bill by up to 10% and keep your home comfortable year-round. Serving Franklin, Coffee, Marion, Grundy, Moore, and Bedford counties. Learn more and see if you qualify at princeinsulation.com.
From the 931 Go Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Radio Winchester weather update, presented by Bennett's Pharmacy.
Only a 70% chance of sunshine today. We got some rain headed in at around 2 p.m., but a high of 76 degrees with some south winds coming in at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, with some gusts as high as 20. Get out there and enjoy your dreary day while you enjoy ESPN Radio Winchester, 1340 1069.
At Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester, we're more than a pharmacy. We're your partner in health. Conveniently located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard, we're here to serve you with fast, friendly, and personalized service. Need prescriptions filled? Looking for over-the-counter products? We've got you covered. Plus, enjoy local delivery and expert advice from our caring team. Call us today at 931-967-2777 or stop by Bennett's Pharmacy at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard today.
Joe had to mix up some more pre-workout, but he's ready to go another round. Back to the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
All right, back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. Chewy, it is a trending Tuesday here on the starting lineup, and while we took a journey down the road of Revenge of the Fifth and then somehow ended up talking about all sorts of comic book style movies and superhero movies and other things like that, let me go over to Twitter, or X as they call it these days.
See what's trending up there in their top little thing. I imagine some WWE.
Usually.
All
right. See, this is the problem. I don't understand half of this stuff.
I knew that was going to happen. As soon as you that noise you made, I was waiting for it to be like, well, like you're so disappointed in humanity.
All right.
Lost.
Let's see here. I don't know.
Nothing important, it sounds like.
So there is some interesting stuff. So you've got like the Spurs are trending. Project Freedom is trending. Vader is at number 13. Jedi is at number 12. Rudy is trending. For Rudy Giuliani, he's in a hospital, I believe, right?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oleandria. I think that's a Love Island star. Don't know who that is.
Have you watched Love Island?
No.
Okay.
Yep, there's WWE Raw.
There you go.
It's
That's
actually
what we were looking for.
Pretty far down the list.
Really?
At number 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's usually up at like 2 or 3.
10, though.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's only Tuesday.
Oh, man. Yeah, so this Wemby Spurs.
What is this? Can you elaborate on that?
It's basketball. Anthony Edwards. So Minnesota beat San Antonio 104-102 in game 1. Victor Wembanyama went viral because he had a strong night, mainly defensively. He had 11 points, 15 rebounds, but he had 12 blocks. Let's see what else we got. So Rudy is also Rudy Gobert, and I think that if you combine that with Rudy Giuliani, that's probably why Rudy is trending, because he's also a basketball player.
Okay.
John Sterling is trending.
Who's that?
So John Sterling was a longtime voice of the New York Yankees radio.
He passed away.
Yeah, he died at the age of 87. And this is sad for me, growing up a Yankees fan. Guys called Yankees games my entire life, from 1989 to his retirement just a couple of years ago, back in 2024. and he had some of the best home run calls ever, and he's the one that made the Yankees win famous. But like the it is high, it is far, it is gone. He was just over the top, and he was tremendous. So I'm really sad about that one, actually. Good Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo. Okay, what's everybody doing for Cinco de Mayo? So ironically, Cinco de Mayo is like the one night that I do not go get Mexican. Like, I am open for Mexican pretty much 364 out of the 365 days of the year.
But
I am open for considering going to Mexican for dinner or lunch. But on Cinco de Mayo, I don't even try.
Yeah. Because everyone's got the same idea.
Yeah. It's kind of like that restaurant. Who was it? Yogi Berra said, nobody goes to that restaurant anymore. It's too busy.
Oh.
Nobody goes there anymore. It's too busy. That's kind of how I am with Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo actually isn't even really that big of a thing in Mexico either.
Oh, probably not.
It's like one small region of southern Mexico celebrates it, and that's it.
Today is even worse, though, because not only is it Cinco de Mayo, Chewy, it's also Taco Tuesday.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's like the best day to go.
Yeah. So what let me ask you this. Are you a taco guy? What do you get when you go to like Taco Bell or Mexican restaurant?
I get fries. I don't like a lot of that kind of stuff. So I don't really and also I don't like Taco Bell. But I usually just listen, I am a beer and tortilla chips guy.
Yeah.
That is why I go. I go because I love Mexican beer. I love Mexican lagers. Put in a lime in it. Get one of those big tall
Are you like
boys.
like a Dos Equis? What do you drink?
Dos Equis in the green bottle. I like it light. And then give me a full half pitcher of that, just maybe half a lime.
Yeah.
Drop that in there and just keep the chips rolling.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a good night.
Do you dip the chips
No.
or you just like
Raw dog to chips, dog.
salt on the chips?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Okay.
I put salt on it.
Okay.
But,
man,
I'm not crazy, Joe Abraham.
I love me some queso. I am very much like the bland when it comes to the Mexican restaurant. I'll tell you what, cheesy chicken. I know cheesy chicken is not like a traditional Mexican dish. Cheesy chicken is amazing.
Yeah.
But there are a few things that I'll order. A lot of times, just I'll go with like a burrito or they have this huge double burrito thing there that is really good. But the guys are saying Eagles concert Sunday night at Vandy. That's Brett. Can't wait. That's going to be a good one. How do the Eagles sound these days? They still sound like the Eagles?
Right, especially with the live. I almost said live action. Especially with a live performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like they're close to the Weekend at Bernie's version of the Eagles.
I'd like to. I am curious. Like, maybe they sound better live? You know, I've noticed that recently with Tori dragging me to all these concerts.
Yeah,
there are a few where I'm like, oh man, I wish you would have recorded that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Kevin Simmons says gas prices are trending way up.
Yeah.
So yeah, what are you guys doing for Cinco de Mayo? I don't know if Katie's got any plans. I don't know what our day looks like as far as Cinco de Mayo goes. I'll have to check with her. She's the boss when it comes to what we're eating.
Dos Equis and limes is what I would recommend.
All right.
And I don't know. I don't know what to do. I think I agree with you though. I don't think going to a restaurant tonight would be a great idea.
Well, there's gonna be a lot of people at them.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can do this at home, you know.
Yesterday, Chewy, was the Met Gala.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What the hell is the Met Gala?
Son, if I knew that, probably wouldn't be here.
I feel like
I'm not even really sure what it is besides celebrities trying on weird-looking stuff. You know what I mean? Like everyone, is that all? It is just a paparazzi event, right? Like that's what it feels like.
So Heidi Klum.
Oh God.
Did you see what she showed up as?
No, but I've seen her. Is she the one? Wait, was it the burger?
No.
She's got some epic Halloween costumes, but no, I didn't. What was up?
So if this is real, she looks like a statue. She's in she's got like a white sheet all over her. She's covered in this, and it's almost like it's painted. She looks like a marble statue. It's really creepy.
Weird. The Met Gala is like the closest I feel like we get to the Hunger Games, where it's so weird and so elitist that it's like alien. You know what I mean?
I think that if you go to the Met Gala, you're a part of that club that is like doing things in the woods.
Sure. Oh, yeah, going and burning owl effigies and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I agree. I get those vibes from that thing, too. It creeps me out. It's really weird. And the fact that people care. Why do you care? Do you know what I mean?
Eileen Gu at the Met Gala, her dress was making bubbles.
What is this? Talk about Hunger Games stuff.
No,
though,
you
right?
need to look up some of the stuff. This makes me uncomfortable.
Where? Okay, so this is the one that, and it happened when? Recently? Met Gala 2026, yeah? Why are there so many? Oh,
Dude,
my
I
gosh,
don't know.
this is weird.
This makes me uncomfortable.
Oh! What the heck? They look like, this is some vampiric behavior. This is like what vampires would do, right? Where they're so long, they're like post-fashion.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody...
What? Did you see Jeremy Pope's weird one? What is going on? Some of these are kind of neat, but like...
Katy Perry,
Beyonce,
Sam Smith, like this is weird. So if you get a chance, go to the Twitter and look up the Met. Just type in Met Gala 2026. Somebody posted a video of a cockroach, like coming up the stairs at the Met Gala, and it says Nicki Minaj has arrived at the 2026 Met Gala.
Brett Crouchy says they're
Tremendous.
awesome. I've listened to them since about 7 years old, so it's nostalgia for me. He's talking about the Eagles.
I love the Eagles. I'm just wondering if they still sound like the Eagles, right? All right. So the Met Gala
Also, is it all the same original members?
super makes me uncomfortable. I have no idea. That would be a Crabtree question.
We recently went and watched a performance of who were the two sisters from the 80s? Who were I can't believe I'm blanking on their name because I'm so exhausted.
I don't know.
I'll look it up in the break and then tell you guys
What's
about it.
the first concert you ever went to? Do you remember?
There was a Christian band that came here and was in a gym, I think in Tullahoma. It may have been at the high school or the Civic Arts Center one.
Okay.
But I remember it being in a gymnasium, and that's the first like concert I
yeah.
ever went to where like I was like on the floor and they were on the stage with like the theater production and everything. It was still very much like a youth centric concert,
Right.
But it was still a concert.
First concert I ever went to. I'll tell you about it when we come back from the other side.
Okay.
We'll take a quick break here. It is the starting lineup. You're tuned in to ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Out with the cold, in with the comfort. Refresh your home with Hall Furniture in Winchester. From stylish living room sets to cozy recliners and dining pieces made for gathering, now's the perfect time to upgrade your space. Quality, comfort, and pieces you'll love coming home to. That's Hall Furniture. Visit them at 3131 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or browse anytime at hallfurniture.com. Hall Furniture. Make your home feel brand new.
Feeling under the weather? Need a quick checkup or urgent care? Look no further than Complete Express Care in Winchester. Our expert medical team is here to provide fast, reliable care when you need it most. From minor illnesses and injuries to lab tests and x-rays. No appointment necessary. Visit us today at 1211 Dinah Shore Boulevard in Winchester or call us at 931-967-6669. Complete Express Care. Your health, our priority.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
An excited crowd filled the Oldham Theater this Sunday as the 4th Annual Al Awards celebrated the very best of Franklin County athletics. The evening honored student athletes and coaches from Franklin County High School and Huntland schools, continuing a tradition inspired by the legacy of Big Al Tips. The event stands as a tribute to encouragement, effort, and belief in young people across our community. Female Coach of the Year honors went to Daryl Jolly, while Kermit Reed was named Male Coach of the Year. Among the freshman standouts, Hadley Jolly was recognized as Freshman Female Athlete of the Year, and Micah Tips earned Freshman Male Athlete of the Year honors. Seasonal awards highlighted excellence across the calendar year. Skylar Roberts was named Fall Female Athlete of the Year, with Grant Jernigan earning Fall Male Athlete honors. Winter Athlete of the Year awards went to Allie Smith and Cooper Stevens. And in the spring categories, Caitlin Montgomery was recognized as Spring Female Athlete of the Year, and Jed Ashley received Spring Male Athlete of the Year. The top overall honors of the night went to Nikasia Holman, named Best Overall Female Athlete of the Year, and Brandon Walker, named Best Overall Male Athlete of the Year. The Grit Award, presented in honor of Kevin Seiler, was awarded to Grayson Baggett, recognizing perseverance and determination. The evening's highest honor, the Big Owl Award in honor of Al Tips, was presented to Kingston Maxwell. Organizers described the night as more than an awards ceremony. It was a celebration of community, unity, and the lasting impacts of sports in shaping young lives. From Franklin County to Huntland, the message was clear: one county, one community. For more local news and updates, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
When it comes to caring for your loved ones, choose a name you can trust. Inhabit Home Health in Winchester, located at 2068 Cowan Highway. We're here to provide compassionate professional care right in the comfort of your own home. From skilled nursing to therapy services, our team is dedicated to helping you or your loved ones achieve the best quality of life. Call Inhabit Home Health today at 931-967-0633 to learn more about our personalized care plans.
You're listening to the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee, on ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT, Winchester.
All right, back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT, Winchester. So thank you to Cindy Hen, who says it was $100,000 per ticket. Last night's theme was celebrating the art world. It is put on by the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Okay, so Met as in Metropolitan.
So is it at the Metropolitan Art Museum? And if it is, can you imagine walking through there trying to wear one of those, like, ridiculous outfits and you bump into, I don't know, some priceless work of art and knock it off a table? And
I mean, yeah. I mean, that would be my luck. You know, you get out there and I'm like, first time I'm wearing a suit, and then I just like trip and fall, and it just completely tears apart.
wearing a suit would be totally awesome. I would pay to see you wearing a suit.
I'd look good in a suit.
Brett Crabtree says they still sound good. Glenn Frey's son is with them now since Glenn died, and also Vince Gill. I didn't know that Vince Gill had joined the Eagles, but I went and I looked it up, and apparently he joined them way back in 2017.
Interesting.
So
I would actually like to go see that. Oh, by the way, the band that I did go and see was Heart from the 80s.
Yeah.
And the original ladies were up there singing Barracuda and all that stuff.
Ooh, Barracuda. Okay,
pretty good.
So drop in a chat your first concert that you ever went to, or if that's too embarrassing for you, maybe the best concert you've ever been to.
I got that one locked down.
Yeah.
I am of this, and tell me if anybody else is like this, but when I go to a concert, if they just are on stage playing instruments and singing,
right?
For me, that's not really enough. Like for not to buy a ticket.
You want like a performance.
Yes, I want to see them in costumes or lights or some sort of show. Man, I saw one once, and it was a metal band called Ghost, and then another one called Amon Amarth. And the Amon Amarth guys are like this Viking heavy metal deathcore band, and literally they have like 2-story tall inflatable dragon that he has an inflatable warhammer, and he fights the dragon during a song. And just in the middle of it, everybody around us just got on the floor and started to pretend to row when they said to row.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, I didn't do it, but I was like, I sat down because I didn't know what we were doing. And but then in the middle of a song, not even remotely related to it, 2 Viking warriors came out on stage and like really started wailing on each other.
Whoa.
Like taking the swords, and you could hear the clang of like, and they're hitting each other in like the neck and like in the head, and like one guy pulled his shield back, popped him like straight in the face, and I was like, holy crap. I was like, this is what I've been missing. And then we go into like another concert the next weekend, and it's like just some dudes with some guitars, you know,
right?
And it didn't even live up to the hype.
Yeah.
You know? But it was it was so awesome that it's kind of ruined concerts for me.
Yeah, like now I just want to go fight a dragon. Okay, so the first concert I ever went to, and the reason I wanted to send it to the break is because I wanted to look up the details on this. I figured that they would have it. I didn't know the date or the year or anything like that. November 7th, 2003.
Okay.
So I was born in 88. This would be in November, so I was 15 ish. And it was at Tico Arena in Estero, Florida. And it was Leonard Skinner.
Ooh.
Now, I'm 15 years old, couldn't drive.
Yeah.
I took a girl who was a friend of mine. I was trying to get her to be my girlfriend. I was trying to impress her.
Sure.
Didn't happen. So I took her to this concert thinking, oh, man, Leonard Skinner. I'll be super cool. I didn't know nothing about nothing back then, you know, and I knew I liked Leonard Skinner, but I didn't know what I would be walking into when we went to the Leonard Skinner concert.
Right.
That was I have never been around so much weed in my life. I mean, it was insane.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
The entire arena was just like
just a cloud.
I mean, we just hotboxed the entire, and it was like a minor league hockey arena.
Oh, so there's no ventilation either. So it's just sitting in like the
it was a pretty nice arena. It's where the Fort Myers Everblades played, and at the time they had an arena team called the Fort Myers Firecats, or the Florida Firecats, and I'll tell you this much. It was cool, you know, to say that your first concert ever was Leonard Skinner. And obviously it was not all the original members because it was, you know, a bunch of them died in a plane crash. But it was still pretty cool. It was still pretty good.
You were real hungry after it.
But that's the only thing that I can really remember about that concert is just being like, I can't believe how much smoke is in here.
Yeah.
And everybody around us, and they were all asking us, you know, if we wanted some.
Yeah, you want some of that?
And we're like, no.
Yeah,
15-year-old kid. And me, I already looked like 30.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, you know what?
November 7th, 2003.
Made an interesting memory at the very least.
Interesting,
you know?
for sure.
Made for a good story. Brett Crabtree says his first one was 3 Doors Down. That is an interesting one. Okay. Cindy Henn jumped in saying, in the early 70s, the Von Braun Civic Center in Huntsville, I saw Chicago.
The
I've been
BBC.
I've been to the Von Braun Center.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool one.
Chicago's a good band to watch, too.
3 Doors Down. 3 Doors Down was that's Brett's a little bit older than me, but he and I are on the same wavelength. Kevin Simmons, my first concert was ZZ Top.
Ooh.
My wife took me. We were dating at the time, been married now for 34 years, rock and roll forever. Dang, that's awesome.
That is such a cool
See, if she had taken you to like Metallica, you might not be married.
Brett says he saw them at Starwood. Interesting. Very cool. I don't know. Do you guys like concerts? Am I wrong, though? Let me know in the chat about the performance thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm probably a little bit picky.
Is there anybody who you haven't seen? I don't like concerts.
I don't either. It's not my vibe.
So I like sporting events. It's weird because I like sporting events. I don't like concerts. And I don't like concerts because of the amount of people that are there. but I like sporting events even though there's the same number of people. I don't know what it is about it. I just...
Oh, little Miss anxiety, too much anxiety to go to the grocery store, loves concerts. My significant other,
really,
she loves concerts. You kidding me? Standing up with a bunch of people who are all sweaty and touching you, and you're up and all of a sudden that all goes away.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Brett says he also saw Skinner at UTC, and then Alice Davis jumped in saying my first concert was Alabama and Restless Heart at Starwood. Interesting. Lots of people been to Starwood.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
Concerts used to be better when you could buy tickets for $20, says Marsha. Yeah.
Good point.
I agree with that.
Good point. I agree with that.
Alabama's a good one too. I think that our listeners in the chat have like the best freaking starting lineup of concerts ever.
Right? Like we all got some like musical synergy.
Except for you, Chewy. You didn't even list the name of the band. Was it like Casting Crowns or something at least? Like what was the name of it?
What was I doing?
You said your first concert was a Christian band.
Oh, I have no idea who they were. Yeah. I guarantee you they do not exist anymore.
Yeah.
They probably broke up that summer.
So we've got Alabama and Restless Heart, Skinnerd, ZZ Top, Chicago. Three Doors Down is still pretty good.
Yeah.
For Crabtree. That's still a pretty good one. I mean, it's not Chicago, but it's still pretty good.
You guys, we should all go to a concert.
I went to a Nickelback concert one time.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, that totally fits you, dude.
No, it was not my choice. Good morning, Andrew.
Was it what? Okay. What was your favorite concert you've ever been to then? Since you don't really like them.
I've only been to a few.
Really?
Yeah.
And you didn't enjoy much of any of them? I've been to so many at this point where there were a few where I was like, that wasn't too bad, you know?
Oh man, what's the country singer? Not Stapleton. Oh man,
Garth Brooks?
No, there's he's got a ton of songs. But I saw him a few years ago at Bonnaroo. Now, I used to go to Bonnaroo from a work standpoint. I only went twice. We'd get like the tickets and do all the things because I ran the station that was Radio Bonnaroo. But I went one year, and we would just go walk around, kind of see a couple of the bands that we wanted to see. Got to see Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Ooh,
saw
good.
Eminem one year.
Yeah.
You know, just the ones that we'd want to see. So we'd kind of cherry pick. Well, one day we showed up just to kind of get the lay of the land, and I was going and walking through the Radio Bonnaroo tent, and they were giving me the tour. I think it was the first year that I was there. And there was on one of the smaller stages, there was this country act. We just happened to be walking by, and I ducked my head under, and we stood and watched for probably 45 minutes or whatever his set was, and he was really good, and it turned out to be Luke Combs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And so he like blew up right after that.
Yeah.
But that I think is the coolest one that I think that I remember, because it was kind of like before he was big time.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone that I really went to that I was like, oh,
This
that's
was
a
a good
great
idea.
memory. Yeah, that I really enjoyed. Brett said I would go to a Nickelback concert today, not ashamed. There are two types of people. Chewy, I've told you this.
Yeah.
There are people who like Nickelback, and then there are people who lie about liking Nickelback and say that they don't.
Yeah.
Kevin says, my favorite concert was Kid Rock at Starwood. I've never been
What
to
is with Starwood?
I've never been to Starwood.
Yeah, where is this Starwood? People keep talking about this.
Starwood. Is that an amphitheater? Starwood Amphitheater. Okay, yeah, that's up in Murfreesboro.
Oh, well, maybe I have been there.
It looks like it's permanently closed.
Oh, then I probably haven't been there.
Okay, W's in the chat if you want us to reopen Starwood Amphitheater. How cool would it be if we went back and just like, yeah, the pictures of it, it's absolutely brutal. So speaking of amphitheaters, Chewy, I came across, while I was on the lake, if you remember, a couple weeks ago, I went down to Gunnersville. Mm-hmm. And on Gunnersville Lake, as I was coming in, I saw an amphitheater that was carved into the side of a hill facing the lake.
Ooh.
It was awesome looking.
Yeah, dude, that sounds amazing.
And it got me thinking, over by the park, when you go up and at the top of the hill where you park to go to what is the playground up there? What's it called?
Adventure Mountain?
Adventure Mountain.
Yeah.
So you go up to Adventure Mountain, and there's what used to be the basketball courts. It's now a pickleball court.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that like valley that cuts down real sharply into the. I think that would be a perfect place to put an amphitheater.
I would love to see a lakeside like performance place around here. That if we could ever get a hold of that, I would love that. Maybe even like a floating one.
Well, so what would be cool about the lakeside version of it is if you created a stage, right, that was like a double, like it was just a circular type of stage or some sort of something, you could then, people could come and watch the concert from the lake, but people could also come and watch the concert from the amphitheater.
Ooh, like having them on their boats or in like pontoons or in floaties or something in the lake and listening to the concert.
Yeah, like you could pull right up to,
like
basically right up to the amphitheater.
There's a theater. There's like I forget. It's somewhere in Florida where they've got the screen, but there's a little bay of water that you can float in, and they give you floaties, and you watch the movies while you're in the water.
Yeah.
And then they will go and show Jaws while you were in the ocean watching a movie.
Yeah, that doesn't make you.
And I'm like, man, we need to do that with like the Creature of the Black Lagoon or something. Lots of people jumped into the chat here.
I'm looking at these pictures of Starwood. Brett says W's, all W's.
Yeah.
He wants us to reopen Starwood. That would be badass. The pictures of Starwood, though, are not. It looks rough.
Martha Hand says, growing up in Birmingham, I was able to see a lot of good shows when I was younger. Aerosmith, REM, INXS, Robert Plant, Black Crowes, The Cult, 311, Tom Petty, Smashing Pumpkins, and wow! Oh, man!
In excess. So we're going to be listening to REM here at the station after the show.
Alice Power says, shut up, it was the best place on earth in Nashville. And then she says, I saw Run DMC and the Beastie Boys at Starwood when I was 14. Talk about the cloud weed. It was outside and still almost got a contact high. And then Landon jumped back in saying, Joe definitely needs floaties.
I do need floaties.
I would like to see that.
I've been getting back into Beastie Boys lately.
Aren't they pretty good?
Yeah, in like the last 12 months or so, I've really gotten back into the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
They're one of my gym playlists.
Really?
I'm really upset that this Starwood. Why did Starwood get closed?
It's probably COVID, I bet.
Well, no, the pictures that I'm seeing are from like 7 years ago, and it was already in rough shape. Yeah.
Well, okay, maybe I guess it just got old. Brett Crabtree says saw Vanilla Ice and Coolio at the Tin Roof in Nashville. Oh, that was probably a sick one.
So a major new development is officially moving forward in Antioch on a site filled with Nashville music history. The project will transform the former home of the Starwood Amphitheater located along Murfreesboro Road. Starwood was Nashville's first outdoor amphitheater and venue, many longtime residents remember as a place where they saw their very first concert. After nearly 5 years of planning, the redevelopment of the long vacant site has received final approval, clearing the way for a large-scale live, work, and play community. Dang it!
Oh, they're not making it back into
No, they're making it into like a housing development.
Oh, man, that sucks.
Okay, but so what that brings up is, and I love opportunities like this, we just create a new amphitheater, and we call it like Starwood 2.
Starwood 2. I like that. That's actually kind of fun.
The new Starwood Amphitheater.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
Landon jumped in saying that he's been on Allison Chains kick for a while, and then he says, old Kyler has got me on an Allison Chains. So
You've been hanging out with Kyler lately, Landon.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that they I didn't take you for an Allison Chains kind of guy.
I wouldn't see that with him either, but that's funny. Kevin says Huntsville has the Orion Amphitheater. Marcia says, saw the BC Boys at Lakewood in 98.
Dang.
Oh, man. I'm
Awesome.
sad that we missed out on...
Right?
She said Lakewood. Is that Lakewood Amphitheater or Starwood? Chewy said that we should call the one that if we build one here in Franklin County, we should call it Lakewood instead of Starwood. I like that. Yeah, Landon says Kyler is a good fella. I agree. He is a good fella.
I like Kyler's Facebook posts where he asks the public question.
Brett says they built Ascend Amphitheater.
I've been to the Ascend Amphitheater.
I haven't been to the Ascend Amphitheater, but they should have called it the new Starwood Amphitheater presented by Ascend or something like that.
The concert I was talking about earlier was at the Ascend Amphitheater.
Okay.
It's pretty awesome.
We can't call it Lakewood because Marcia says Lakewood is in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Landon says Allison Chains has made it into our football pregame playlist, so you'll hear it as we're warming up next season. Nice. My favorite football hype song from when I was in school was Back in Black. AC/DC is probably some of my favorite of all time.
They're pretty decent.
They're one that if I could check out in concert, I would want to see them in concert, like in their prime. Here's the tough thing is seeing a lot of these bands like past their prime doesn't really do anything for me.
Where half the people are gone sometimes.
Well, even when we saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers again a few years ago back at Bonnaroo, it was like, nah. I mean, they're getting up there, right? But, all right, let's get a quick break in here. When we come back, we will wrap it up. Here's the other question that I've got for you. Think long and hard about this one. You guys have done, Landon says, AC/DC makes me want to suit up. Think long and hard about this one. I want you to think back to what is your maybe your favorite album of all time. Chewy and I talked about this last week about doing our top 5. So we did our top 5 like video games of all time, our top 5 CDs, albums of all time.
That's a hard one.
I don't know if we could put it together in the next few minutes.
No, but we could certainly open that conversation.
Yeah, I could get a couple in, but there's a bunch that I would have to like weigh them to see if they make the cut or not. All right. We'll be back on the other side. It is the starting lineup fueled by Loco Coffee, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
This is ESPN Radio Winchester, where Franklin County comes to life. From local news and athletics to everything in between, we're proud to bring you the stories that matter right here at home. And it's all made possible by local businesses connecting with real people in our community every single day. When you support them, you support our local coverage. Over 75 years of Franklin County heritage. Want your business to be a part of it? Contact WCDT today. ESPN Radio Winchester. Franklin County plays here.
For over 75 years, one thing has never changed in Winchester, Tennessee. Hall Furniture has been there through it all. 3 generations, decades of trust, and the commitment to quality, value, and service that still comes first today. As we celebrate over 75 years in business, we want to say thank you to our loyal customers, our community, and to everyone who has made Hall Furniture a Winchester tradition. Hall Furniture. Here's to another 75 years of helping you make a house feel like home.
Why choose Moore Courtney Funeral Home? Well, they're a 5th-generation funeral home taking care of the people of Franklin County since 1905. They're committed to serving you, dedicated to providing personalized, professional, compassionate service to help lighten your burden and help you out during these difficult times. Moore Courtney Funeral Home, 300 First Avenue Northwest in Winchester, 967-2222. Moore Courtney Funeral Home.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at ReliableRentalFC.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
We apologize if this is your first time, but yes, unfortunately, this is normal. You're listening to the starting lineup on ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
All right, back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy. Brett Crabtree says, Joe, I don't like the way that you say Bonnaroo.
Thank you, Brett.
Because I don't say it Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, all right. Yeah, tell why.
Okay. So I used to call it Bonnaroo like everybody else. Bonnaroo. Bonnaroo. I used to call it Bonnaroo like everybody else. But when I took over the station that was the official Radio Bonnaroo station, they came down and like all of the corporate people came down and they when they spoke about it, it was Bonnaroo, not Bonnaroo.
Mm-hmm.
And so they put a different emphasis on the tail end. So when I was around them, I got in the habit of calling it Bonnaroo because I didn't want to sound like
a normie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of like how they would identify you. If you were on the inside of the circle, if you knew what was what, you called it Bonnaroo instead of Bonnaroo. And so I just got in the habit of saying it that way. But it does make me look like I go to the Met Gala, doesn't it?
It does a little bit.
And I appreciate that, Brett. I appreciate you calling me out on that. I don't want to be one of those guys. So Bonnaroo.
That's why you stopped.
I'm transitioning back to Bonnaroo. Bonnaroo. Now I can't say it. Now I can't say it the other way.
Right.
I can't force myself to say it the other way.
Kevin Simmons jumped in saying our football song back in the 80s was "Another One Bites the Dust."
Yeah.
That's also a good one.
So ours, we had Back in Black. We had a bunch of AC/DC. Ours, I think, was like not the worst AC/DC song, but one of the ones that we played that got our like warm up going was TNT, and I don't really like TNT.
Yeah. You don't like TNT?
I mean, it's fine, but it's
not Back in Black.
It's not Thunderstruck. It's not Back in Black.
Got you.
You know.
Sure. Brett is well stopping.
All right. I've been canceled.
That is so funny.
So I'm going through. I've started on my list of best albums ever. No. Let me stop because I don't want to piss people off. Not best albums ever.
Yeah,
Let me stop. I'm not getting into that argument. I have started creating my list of albums that shaped you. Okay. So different than best albums ever. Albums that shaped me. And I've already got 4 albums on this list.
I've only got 1, but go ahead.
It's going to be hard for me because I'm going to have to list a bunch more. It's going to be hard for me to narrow down the one more. And this is how the video games thing went.
Yeah.
I had 4 immediately. So, number 1, album that shaped Joe. Blink-182, Enema of the State. Which is the CD that my dad snapped in half and threw away on me multiple times.
You know what? Absolute gold star pick, Joe Abraham. That slaps. That whole album is a freaking banger.
Yep. Album number 2 that shaped me. Yellow Card, Ocean Avenue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, dude. You're okay. I'm noticing a trend here. Does it stick on this trend?
Not completely.
Okay. All right.
But album number 3, kind of still in that same mix. Red Hot Chili Peppers, but not one of the ones that you'd think. What do you think? What do you think it is? Because I'm going to say it, and people are going to be like, "What?"
It's not the one that has.
It's not Californication.
That would have. Okay, that was my guess. This seems perfect for you.
Brett says your Yankee is showing. We had to play ours on a boombox on the bus and the locker room.
Ha.
So
I miss boomboxes.
My Red Hot Chili Peppers album. Hold on, because they've got a bunch of them, right? Red Hot Chili Peppers. So they've got the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which was their '84 album. Then they came back with Californication in '99. Then they had Stadium Arcadium was 2006. But the one that shaped me was By the Way in 2002.
What?
I know.
Okay.
It's one of the ones that, I mean, they've got some good songs on it, but for me, that was a 2002, man. I mean, that's right in the heat of, like I said, I went to Leonard Skinner in 2003. I was 14 years old, something like that. I mean, it was right in the heat of freshman, sophomore year, something like that. So there's 3 right there.
Okay.
Number 4, albums that made me, Bob Seger, his greatest hits album.
Really?
Yeah. And
Okay.
and it's kind of, I don't like going with like the greatest hits, but you know, Bob Seger was a little bit before my time. So by the time I came along, he had his greatest hits CD out. I mean, when you look at this thing, Roll Me Away, Night Moves, Turn the Page, You'll Accompany Me, Hollywood Nights, Still the Same, Old Time Rock and Roll, We've Got Tonight, Against the Wind. I mean, it's just like banger after banger, Like a Rock after banger, all the way through.
And you know bangers.
And I know bangers, okay? Freaking Bob Seger is tremendous.
Yeah.
And my father's first, well, not his first bass boat, but my father's bass boat when I was young was a black and silver Ranger bass boat, and it had a name, and its name was the Silver Bullet. So that was one of those things. Bob Seger was handed down to me.
Mhm.
I was born a Cleveland Browns fan, a New York Yankees fan, and I was born with love of Bob Seger.
All right. I have
There's 4.
I
already.
have 5, but these are not my top 5. These are just the ones that are off the top of my head.
Yeah. They might be your top 5.
First is Get Rich or Die Trying. That's
Okay.
the 50 Cent debut album.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Because I look at you, and that's not what I would think.
I love all that, like from like 1988 to 2005 rap.
Yeah.
I listen to so much of that. All Stars, All Smash Hits. That's where the
Yeah.
all those where they came from. All Eyes on Me. That's Tupac from the mid 90s.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's the one that had California Love and a lot of those.
I like this totally.
My music taste
changes my perception of you.
My music taste will alarm you.
Yeah.
Like the way the next one was Doggy Style from the 90s. That was Snoop Dogg's album.
What the heck?
That's the one where if you've heard Gin and Juice, that's where that comes from. And then the next one was Riot by Paramore. That was the one with like Misery Business and stuff on there. And
that one I understand. That one makes sense.
Sure.
With you to me.
But well, I'll write down some more of these. Martha Hand says, Smashing Pumpkins, Gish Kuyas, Welcome to Sky Valley, and Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar, Sex Magic, and then 311 Music. Man,
Yeah.
all bangers.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Yeah, I'm actually very curious to see where you go with this.
I can't believe your list right now.
It
now,
gets worse.
Again, I know that that's not necessarily your top 5, but when I think of, like, again, albums that shaped me, I immediately, it goes to not your favorite albums, but the ones that just pop into your head right away. You know, these come to mind first, and for those to have popped into your head is interesting to me. My concern, here's my concern, though. Here's my concern. Is I really don't want Simple Plan to be on that list.
Why not?
But Simple Plan had 2 CDs that came out in the early 2000s that I smoked, dude.
Yeah,
I
dude.
mean, I melted those things.
Yeah, dude. I'm all about it. Brett Crabtree says, Eagles, Hell Freezes Over, Aerosmith, big ones, Nirvana, Unplugged. Oh, that's a good one. In New York, Hootie and the Blowfish, awesome.
Yeah, Hootie's great.
Good picks.
Simple Plan, I would say the no pads, no helmets, just balls. That one is the one that I'm afraid of might end up on this list.
Yeah, I have to write all of them down, and then I've got to narrow it, like you said. But I
Right.
think we need to do this because this sounds like a This is good fodder.
Yeah, this is a good practice. I think that we find out a lot about ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, here's the other thing. So what we need to do is, from a therapy standpoint, we need to take our top five ever video games, top 5 ever albums, top 5 ever movies.
Oh, dude, I don't know if I can do this.
And then we need to pump all of that into AI and be like, what does this say about me? And then we need to read it on the air.
Here we go. Homework. I like this. We're doing this for Therapy Thursday.
Okay, this is coming to you on Therapy Thursday. So here's what I want the listeners to consider. Okay, if you've ever played video games, do your top 5 video games, your top 5 albums, your top 5 movies. Is there something we're missing?
I don't think so. Not as far as entertainment goes.
Games?
I guess unless you like stage plays, but that can be a little difficult for people.
Movies, albums.
Ooh, Green Day's Dookie was a regular for Brett Crouchy. Yeah. Yes, dude.
Green Day was great.
Loved Green Day.
All right. So if I'm missing something that we need to add to our AI research, let me know in the chat. I don't know if we should do. We could do
cartoons.
No, see, that'll be top 5. It'll be like movies. I was gonna say like top 5 TV show characters.
Let's
TV
do what
shows.
we got, and if it goes well, we'll do another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody needs to follow through with this. I want to know 3 categories: your top 5 albums, movies, and video games.
Okay, I like it.
And then we're gonna pump them into ChatGPT and see what it says about us.
All right.
On Therapy Thursday. All right. We should get Ricky to do this too.
I agree.
Tomorrow.
This is a fun idea.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this Trending Tuesday.
This was a fun one.
Yeah,
I like these
interesting.
loosey-goosey ones.
We were all over the place today.
Yeah.
Let me just, before we go off air, let me just make sure I'm not missing anything as far as what's going on in and around town. We got to do our due diligence for the people. So let me pull up.
Any sports tonight, that kind of thing?
There is a soccer game tonight. I'm pulling up the Franklin County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. Oh, this week they're recognizing and honoring the men and women who serve behind the walls. It's National Correctional Officers Week.
All right.
So if you know a correctional officer, tell them that you appreciate them. Let's go to, we mentioned the mayor. If you go to the Franklin County Mayor's page, they've got information about the Tennessee 250, which is coming up on Thursday. So I encourage you to go check that out. Nothing going on with the school board, Franklin County Mayor's office. And just check there. Yeah, they're just promoting the Tennessee 250 right now. They're promoting a crap out of it.
All right.
So I'll let you know. It's Thursday, May 7th. 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the old high school football field behind the Annex building. They're also going to have their National Day of Prayer program at 6 p.m. They're going to have a ton of stuff out there, family-friendly event. They're going to have free food. They're going to have vendors. They're going to have food trucks. They're going to have all these different things. Go look at the banner thing that they've got up on the Franklin County Mayor's thing. Live entertainment, the whole 9 yards. The Orange Charlie Band and the Stagger Moon Band are going to be there. So we hope to see you guys out there. My goal, Chewy, just FYI, my goal is, and we may have a softball game or something like that, but my goal is to set up the tent out there. I don't know what you're doing that night, but I'd like...
The Tennessee 250?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like for you to be out there filming with the drone.
Yeah.
And then just hanging out at the tent and stuff like that. Maybe Katie will be out there taking pictures.
What day is it you said?
It's Thursday.
Yeah.
Now, I might not be there for the whole thing, but I might be there for some of it. But I might be there for the front end of it. But there's probably going to be a softball game Thursday night.
Okay.
All right. That'll do it for us. Yeah, we're getting kicked off the air. It is the starting lineup fueled by Loco Coffee. We appreciate you guys tuning in on this Trending Tuesday For Chewy, I am Joe Abraham. Coming up on the other side, Reliable Rentals Swap and Shop. This is ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester.
For us to come out, the way we did, composed, feel like we can play a lot better, and just our will to win got us through.
Minnesota, I get it now. It took me a second, but I got it. Anybody want some pancakes? It's ESPN Radio on the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80, as well as on ESPN.